Valley, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, sitting alongside the Director of Recruiting, Greg Powers.
What's up?
Do you want to do even more rankings? I know you've been doing rankings for like the past 8 million weeks straight, but you want to do some more?
I just got to clue the fans in, you in too, maybe a little bit to this. Every day I'm doing rankings.
Every single day.
Every
I know.
day.
You're sitting there, you know, grinding the tape, looking at rankings every single day. And
sometimes it's barbecue, but often it's Croots.
Often it's Croots. And as you can see behind us, we're going to be talking about the top 5 defensive tackles in the class of 2026 in the state of Texas. And we're going to start off here in the DFW talking about Richardson's Jaimeon Winfield, standing at 6'3", 290. We've got him rated as a 4-star. And just recently, I mean, probably 2-3 weeks ago, he committed to play for USC.
And the Trojans are getting a spectacular defensive lineman. He's got some of the best defensive tackle tape I've watched in quite some time. His get-off truly reminds me of Ed Oliver. And I think that he will have to pick up his consistency to play like Ed Oliver, you know, throughout the course of a whole game to rise to that rankings level. But make no mistake, this is one of the top defensive tackles in the country, easily, and the number 1 defensive tackle in the Lone Star State. Winfield is a freak show.
And you got to see him in person last year, didn't you, in an actual game? And he passes the eyeball test.
Easily passes the eyeball test. There's no, like, things to put in the cons box based on his frame or his explosiveness. This dude flat out gets after it, and he's only going to get better as he gets more seasoning in college. Another
guy that passes my eyeball test, because I got to see him last week in person at practice, it's number 2 on our list, Prosper's Jake Johnson at 6'3", 285.
Jake Johnson has been one of the hottest recruits in the Lone Star State, and he's currently rated as a 3-star, but don't be surprised if he's in that 4-star mix trying to climb into that top 50. He's going to be right there on that line to see if he's a 4-star or a 3-star. A lot of talented prospects in the Lone Star State in this cycle, especially at this defensive tackle position. You're going to notice a trend going from number 2 all the way through number 10. All these guys have top offers, and they can all play, bringing some athleticism to the table. And I forgot to give Jake a little bit of a hard time. Not a hard time because it's fun, right? I didn't get to talk to Jake about this whenever we were at Prosper. But, Jake, I saw your tape. I watched your tape, and I love the little flex that you do.
I was about to mention that. I was just about to mention that.
We in the Dave Campbell's office love the little flex you do whenever you make a big tackle for a loss or a sack. And you just give a little bit of a fun. But Jake gives a little bit of like Jake Johnson swag to it that only he can pull off. I can't do that. Jake can.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Definitely passes the eyeball test from what we saw. We got to watch their practice too last week at Prosper. Definitely passes the eyeball test. At number 3, let's go to Liberty Hill and talk about Alister Vallejo, standing at 6'3", 270. We've got him rated as a 3-star, and he's got a couple of official visits already locked in with Oklahoma State, Kansas, Houston, SMU, and he actually set the school record with a 375-pound bench press.
Strong man. Yeah, Vallejo is a guy I'm really excited about. You mentioned his strength right off the top, and that's something that I feel like is really important. But playing with good pad level at 6'3" is important as well, and Vallejo does that really well. He gets a good initial surge off of the ball, keeps his pad low, which puts the offensive lineman at a marked disadvantage, and he's able to push them backwards. We're into the 3rd guy on this list, and I know the fans that are following along with these tapes with us at home, you can see a trend of how fun these guys are to watch. This isn't a normal defensive tackle class. You don't usually watch tapes like this right now that you're seeing with Vallejo and seeing them have this many like wow plays on tape. So that should tell you just like how good these players are that we're talking about.
And they all pass the eyeball test. I know we've said that multiple times over and over again.
Look at this dude in his pictures.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge and strong. Like he looks strong, doesn't look like he's like got any bad weight on his frame.
Right. At number 4, let's talk about Austin Westlake's Maddox Flint at 6'1", 275. We've got him as a 3-star right now, and he's committed to play for the TCU Horned Frogs.
Yeah, he's a freak show. And I close my eyes and think about this list. Flint is like the professional, I feel like, on this list. Like his game is the most refined. He plays very technique sound, getting tremendous coaching down there in the Austin area from legend Tony Salazar, who's one of the best coaches in the game right now, especially one of the most bright defensive-minded head coaches in the Lone Star State, and you can see that he's getting plenty of coaching down there playing for the Shaps. But TCU's getting a guy that I feel like can step in and provide some instant depth. You're looking now when you're recruiting these guys at guys who can come in and be day one contributors, because the transfer portal guys can come in and be day one guys. So you need that from your high school kids. And why he can be a day one contributor is he already has the size and the techniques down. I love Flint's tape.
Well, and when we were talking about the defensive ends list on Monday, I had mentioned his name too, because they've got a couple of our number 4 and number 5 guys on the defensive end list, Jesse Ford and Carter Buck, also committed to TCU. So the lineman group as a whole is kind of thriving at TCU.
No doubt about it. TCU has done a great job, powered by Jamarcus Farland, on the defensive line and recruiting in the state in 2026. And the 3 guys that you talked about right now, bona fide size. And they have stuff that you can't coach in addition to having great tape. All are blue collar guys too. Like, they go to work. They're the guys that bring their lunch pail to work with them. Absolutely.
And rounding out this list, we're checking in at number 5 from Katy Paetow. We're going to talk about Daryl Campbell at 6'3", 315 pounds. We've got him currently as a 3-star, and he's got official visits scheduled to Cal, Oklahoma State, Vanderbilt, Houston, Texas Tech, North Carolina, and SMU so far.
Coach Hicks, I see you, man.
Coach Hicks.
This guy has been coached up like no other. He uses his hands tremendously well. So we've looked through like some of these top guys till now. This guy's the blend of a little bit of everything. He plays with good leverage, and he's massive. He's bigger than all the other guys on this list at well over 300 pounds. An immovable force, right? I think he was playing his best ball at the end of last year, so I'm extremely excited about what his senior season is going to bring, because Coach Hicks, like Coach Salazar we were talking about, he's one of the best defensive line coaches in the state, and it shows because they keep producing quality defensive talent up front. Last year it was Carmelo Brooks. This year it's Daryl Campbell. The train just keeps rolling at Katy Paetow.
Absolutely. There you go. The top 5 defensive tackles in the class of 2026 in the state of Texas. And if you want to check out the full top 10 list, go to texasfootball.com/recruiting.